Hello YouTube, welcome back to another story. Now before we get into this, I apologize if I sound a little sick. Now, this story is called Devilish Sounds. Sit back, relax, and listen. So I woke up in the middle of the night, just sitting up in my bed, and all of a sudden I hear this very unearthly sound. It sounded like a demonic siren sound coming from the living room, as I was scared to even move. After about 5 to 8 minutes of it going, there was a 3 second delay before every screech. It finally stopped. I had went back to sleep. I asked my family if they heard a loud screeching sound coming from the living room last night. Everyone said no. I knew it wasn't a dream because I remembered all of my thoughts from while I was going. That sound was way too loud for everyone to hear in my house. This next story is called The Keyhole. A woman has been driving for hours. It's about midnight and she is feeling tired. As she is driving, she finds a small hotel and decides she will stay there for the night. When she walks in, she sees a receptionist sitting at the front desk. The woman pays the receptionist and they give her a room to key 212. As she walks away from the receptionist, he says, "Hey, make sure you don't go in or near room 213. Although confused, the woman nodded her head and made her way to her room. As she is about to go to bed, she hears weird noises coming from outside her room. She goes to investigate when she realizes the noises are coming from room 213. The woman is scared but very curious, so she goes to the door and looks through the keyhole. "Well, that's strange," she said, as she could only see red, and she looked through the keyhole. The next morning, as she was leaving, she told the receptionist about what she saw, and his face turns pale. He was struck with fear. The woman, now concerned, started questioning what it was. The receptionist told her, in room 213, an old couple stayed there one night. The man and woman had got into an argument, and the man had got so mad that he strangled the woman to death. Now her ghost haunts that room, and people say that when they saw her ghost, she was pale, skinny, and had bright red eyes. In horror, the woman realized the ghost lady was looking at her through the keyhole that night. This last story is called Creepy Encounter. I'm a 17-year-old male. I work in the restaurant business, and due to COVID-19, we do things a little unconventionally, where we sell pre-made meals. I'm often very interactive with the customers, and usually I enjoy doing so. Last Thursday, this semi-obese man in his late 70s came into the restaurant with an overly charming demeanor. At first, I really liked the guy since he was being so nice, but things quickly took a turn. We eventually introduced ourselves. I really wish I didn't do that. When checking out, the guy kept looking at me up and down. I was very uncomfortable. Eventually, the guy left, awkwardly waving as he walked out the door. 15 minutes later, and the restaurant gets a call. I pick up the phone and it's a man. The first thing I say is, "I really wanted to tell you how much I appreciated your help." And I responded with, "No problem." From there, he goes on to say, "I don't know if anyone has told you this, but you're a very handsome young man." I didn't say anything. Right before I hung up the phone, he asks, "Maybe sometime you would like to get together." I quickly hung up the phone and made it clear to my boss I was uncomfortable. I never reported the situation to law enforcement, but we know his identity, and he didn't have any other previous offenses. I did say the last story was the last story, but this is the last one to top it off. This one is called My Weird Experience After Meditation. So I recently joined Reddit, and I have to share this experience of mine. So during the beginning of lockdown, due to lots of free time, I started doing inner healing through meditation, mindfulness, and stuff. I usually meditated in the night before going to bed, so I continued this religiously for a few weeks, and my mind became clearer and clearer. But also, I started to sense weird things around me. I always felt like a presence around me. Once I saw a shadow moving from the curtains of the window in my bedroom and saw it was around 2 a.m. in the night. Also, one day at afternoon, I saw someone moving around in the hallway. I thought it was one of my parents, but they were taking an afternoon nap. I'm frightened easily, but after that, I get scared so easily. While I don't know whether I was hallucinating or meditating, made my mind so clear that I was able to sense spirits. One more thing, after some time, I stopped meditating and giving attention to clearing my energy, and I stopped sensing things. I would really like your insights. Thank you for listening. If you want to hear or see more content, please considering subscribing or even commenting. Now, this is one of my dreams to succeed a lot in this podcast, in this form of entertainment. Please support me. Thank you.